See, when you saw the title of this video, you were probably thinking one thing. There's no way you can get a Daytona Charger for $3,500 and for it to be in good shape. And with the market of these things skyrocketing, I don't blame you. I thought the exact same thing. And well, this car sitting right in front of me is a 2006 Dodge Charger Daytona that I got for $3,500. Enough with the chit chat, let's start with a walk around this Charger like every other video I make. As you can see, the rear end and even the driver's side of this car looks fantastic. Other than that atrocious V8 engine sticker there, I don't understand why they would put a V8 engine sticker on a Hemi car. It literally says Hemi right next to the V8 engine sticker. Of course it's gonna have a V8, it's a Daytona. Moving away from that atrocious sticker, we're gonna move on to the front end of this car. This is the main reason on why this car was sold so cheap, but even in my opinion, we got it for an amazing deal. So as you can see, this front end is missing a bumper, but it's also missing a passenger side fender, and the door is silver. So what do you think happened here? If you guessed stolen and crashed, give yourself a thumbs up, because according to the old owner, that's exactly what happened. So here is my verdict on what happened during the crash. So these people who stole this car are having a wonderful time in their stolen Daytona, and guess what? They've now crashed. My guess is the initial impact was right here at this passenger side headlight. Why do I say that? Well, because the crash bar here is still intact, and the most structural damage is right here. In fact, the only structural damage in this car is right here. And if you get a look, the fender is missing, and it must have ricocheted all the way to the passenger door. Keep in mind, this hood was replaced. This is a hood that I got after I bought this car for $500. So basically, the passenger side headlight, the passenger side fender, the rat support, the hood, and the passenger side door, as well as the front bumper, was damaged in this crash. But the main thing is, if you take a look in here, that's your frame right there. And as you can see, there is no damage whatsoever. This car also came with a clean title as well. So now moving along to the back passenger side rear quarter, there is no damage whatsoever back here, which is honestly a fantastic thing because that would get pretty costly. So there's your walk around of the $3,500 Daytona. So when I went to go look at this car, I was obviously very interested in it, but there was two things that I wanted to make sure of before I bought it. One, is this a real Daytona? And two, how bad is the rust? If you don't know much about these 2006 to 10 Chargers, they rust really bad in the rear quarters, the front frames, and the rockers. To make sure this is a real Daytona, all I had to do was open up the passenger door and then take a look at the dash. If it has this dash plaque right here, it's a real Daytona. After that, I looked at the most vulnerable areas for rust, and then I thought, oh my lord, this thing is almost rust free. There is barely any rust on this side either. Then it got even better. As I went to go take a look inside the Daytona, the first thing I realized was this thing has under 120,000 kilometers. By the way, that's a little over 70,000 kilometers for you Americans. And then I realized there's no rips in either of the front seats. And then there's none in the rear seats either. There's no cracks in the dashboard. All the orange trim is still intact. It comes with Uconnect, garage door openers, and a sunroof. And it comes with heated seats. And steering wheel controls. Man, this must be too good to be true. There's no way I'm buying this good of a car for $3,500. Then I started looking for problems because there's no way this car is this cheap. I started by the radio and it works perfectly fine. Then I'm looking at the dash and yeah, there's a fair bit of lights, but I mean, that's probably from the front end. The front seat and passenger seat controls work perfectly fine. The heated seats also work perfectly fine. The sunroof also works perfectly fine. But do you know what really made me buy this car? The fact that when I went to start it up first pull, no problems whatsoever. So after seeing that, I said, you know what? I'm done. This is too good to be true. I don't even care. I'm buying it. And since then, I've owned my dream car for almost an entire year and it's given me no problems. Other than Uconnect won't pair my phone. Like, what is with me and Bluetooth? Just pair the dang thing. Start pairing phone.
Are you sure you want to erase everything from your phone?
I didn't say that. I said start pairing. Let's try again.
Ready.
Pair phone.
Phone not available.
Well, no kidding, because it's not paired, you moron. Anyway, I'm sure I'll get that to work sometime in the next decade. Let's check the steering wheel controls. As you can see, if you press this button, it gives you something pretty cool. Average liters per 100 kilometers, 32.2. And then, let's see. No phone active. I know! Oh, my Lord, man. Then we have some system warnings. Oh, no. Low washer fluid. Maybe because it's not hooked up. And then we have that. And then we have that. That's pretty cool. Then we have a couple personal settings. Language, English, yes. And lock doors automatically at 24 kilometers an hour. Yes. Unlock doors automatically on exit. Yes. Remote key unlock. All doors one press. It doesn't work no matter how many times I press it. Sound horn with remote key lock on. Okay, yeah, the horn doesn't work. Flashlights with remote key lock. The key doesn't work. Delay turning headlamps off for 0 seconds. What? Turn headlights on with remote key unlock. 30 seconds. What is that? Delay power off to accessories until exit. Who cares, man? Confirmation of voice commands off. It doesn't even work in the first place. Is that it? Nope. Display units of measure in metric. See, this is cool because now we get to see US. So if we get out of there, let's see, hold on. It's got 74,000 miles. I guess I was kind of off, but oh well. Distant to empty, low fuel. Man, it's got half a tank. I don't know what you're on about. I don't really understand what elapsed time means. Can someone tell me what's been on for an hour and 19 minutes? Then the only other control I haven't used yet is the volume up and down control. That's pretty self-explanatory. And the radio's got a 6 CD player and a cassette deck. What are we living in 1993? But I mean, I'll take it. I would show you my cassette in there to show you that it works, but I would get a copyright strike, so we're not gonna do that. Here's something else that's a little weird. That 300 over there has a fully electronic steering wheel control, up and down, whatever, back and forth control for your steering wheel. Where this one, if you pull a lever back here, it's not very graceful. I don't really understand why they didn't put that in this car, but there's really nothing I can do about it. And also, one thing I mean to mention is the AC blows ice cold. I'm like freezing in this car, and it's like 20 degrees out right now. And to save myself from burning alive in this greenhouse, the heat also works as well. You just gotta believe me. Welcome to the newest installment of Backseat Reviews. If you haven't watched any of my videos yet, you don't know that I'm 6'4", and I don't fit in half of these cars' back seats very well. And I mean, this Charger, it's meh. Like, I could sit in here, but it's not the most comfortable after an hour or two. My knees do harass the front seat pretty bad, and because of this massive hump for the window up there, my head is just kind of like sitting here, stuck like basically inside of the headliner. But, you know, it's not bad. You do get yourself a beautiful orange stitched cup holder here, which is actually pretty good for my arm. And there's 2 vents, which you can get AC and heat out of. Here's a little life hack for you kids that are incredibly tall for no reason at all. If you're sitting in the back of a car and you feel like your knees are just going to implode, move over to the other side like this. You'll still be able to have your seatbelt on, but you can actually stretch out your knees in that, and it still looks like you're, you know, sitting like normally. So there you go. Use that for whatever you need. Other than that, like the only thing I really like about these back seats is that there's like orange stitching all around them. But other than that, man, they're back seats. Unless you live under a rock, I'm sure you've been in them before. There's really nothing to say about them. Now the front seats. Oh my God, these are awesome seats. I'm not even joking. They're so comfortable. They're bucket seats, but like you can't even feel it. And when you're like racing around quarters and that, man, you are strapped to this seat like a 5-point harness, and you only have a normal seat belt. As a passenger, there's actually a lot to look at in this car other than looking out the windows. One of them being this beautiful plaque right here, which tells you this car is number 43 of 200. And this would actually be a bit different in the US. It wouldn't be out of 200, it would be out of 4,000. Another thing to look at would be this orange radio surround and the orange center console. If you had a yellow Daytona, a red Daytona, you know, like a purple one, whatever, it would be that color of that car, whereas this one is orange, so this color is orange. It's actually really cool, and I'm really glad Dodge did this. Getting out of the car here is actually pretty luxurious, I'd like to say. That leaves me with the last thing I need to talk about, which is the engine. This thing has a 5.7 liter Hemi engine that was specifically tuned for the Daytona Chargers. It sounds fantastic, it runs quiet, and the orange engine cover is something you can only get on Daytona Chargers. That's pretty cool. So overall, I got this Daytona Charger for $3,500. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more videos in the future.